Okay, guys, all sit down. Okay, how's everyone feeling today? Feeling good? Feeling good? Yeah? Did everyone like Dr. Bill's speech just now? Yeah? Good, good, okay. So I'm just gonna introduce someone. We're gonna have an next speaker. It's gonna be Aura. So Aura was born and raised in Lagos, Nigeria, and she's now based in the San Francisco Bay Area. Aura is returning to LEAP for her third year, this time as a member of the staff team. She first attended LEAP as a college student in 2017, returned as a coach last year, and is excited to now help organize this year's program. Let's quiet down, guys. Aura began her career as a business analyst in tech, but while working in the industry, she discovered a passion for hearing people's stories and helping them navigate life's challenges. That realization inspired her to pursue a second master's degree in counseling psychology, where she's trained to become a therapist. Today, Aura works as a life coach for college students while also running a successful business plan that produces both corporation and private events. Outside of work, she enjoys creating career and personal development content on LinkedIn, Instagram, and TikTok. One of Aura's greatest strengths is asking thoughtful questions that uncover meaningful stories and opportunities. Informational interviewing is a skill that has opened doors throughout her own career, and today she's excited to share how it can do the same for you. Please join me and stand and give a warm LEAP welcome to Aura!
Yes! Hello, LEAP 2026! Can we make some noise? Amazing, amazing. Thank you all so much for the warm welcome. I'm so happy to be here. I would like to start off by saying a big thank you to Dr. Bill, our founder, and James, our executive director, for the opportunity to speak with you all today. As you heard, I was a student at LEAP 10 years ago. I was a coach last year, and I'm excited to be coming back this year as a member of staff and a speaker. Thank you guys. I'd also like to give a shout out to all my loved ones who are watching online. Thank you all, I appreciate your support. Awesome, so we're gonna dive into informational interviewing today. How many people have heard of an informational interview? How many people know what it is? Show of hands. If you know what, let's put your hands up high, proud. If you know what an informational interview is. So not too many people. How many people have done an informational interview before? Okay, so we have like 4 people in the room. That's great. All right, so let's dive into it. Today we'll be talking about what is an informational interview, why it is important. I'll share a little bit about my story using informational interviews, and then I will teach you how to do informational interviews. And then we have some fun activities at the end for you all. This is a quote I really like about the importance of informational interviews. It says, "The greatest discoveries come from asking the right questions." Everybody say, "Just ask." Amazing. And if you're following along in your binder, I believe this is page 123, so you can take your notes there. A lot of adults love to talk about themselves. And so if you get good at asking the right questions, then you're gonna get good at being a conversationalist. People are gonna love to talk to you. People are gonna want to refer you to talk to other people. And the better questions you ask, the better the conversation is. Everybody say, "Just ask" again. Just ask. Amazing. So what is an informational interview? An informational interview is a conversation with someone who works in your industry, who works in the job you want to work in, or who works in the company you want to work in. And it's just learning more about their career story. How did they get there? What advice do they have for you? An informational interview is not a job interview. It can be done over coffee, it can be done over food, it can be done virtually. And typically, it's about 20 to 30 minutes because the people you talk to would be busy professionals. Got it? Amazing. So what's the purpose of informational interviews? One, you can use informational interviews to understand the different career paths that are available to you. For example, if you're a freshman in high school, if you're a freshman and you don't really know what you want to do when you get to college, you can talk to different people to figure out what kinds of jobs do I like, and that will help you. You can also use informational interviews to figure out what a job really is like. Say you want to be an astronaut and you don't know what astronauts do. Well, we all know they go to like space, right? But you don't know what the training is, what the training involves. You don't know like what they have to study in college. You can talk to someone who's currently an astronaut and just get information from them. You can also use informational interviews to get advice for, I'm thinking of studying medicine, being a doctor. What should I study in undergrad to help me get there? You can also use informational interviews to expand your network and discover new opportunities that have not even been posted. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about my story and using informational interviews. So the first group of pictures you see, that was me as a LEAP student. You can see my green LEAP shirt. And then the bottom picture, you see my eye. I'm an eye in the disc personality. And I'm with Mayor Lisa, who was the former mayor of Perth in Australia. How many people have seen Mayor Lisa around? Okay, she's at LEAP with us, so she's amazing. You should definitely have a conversation with her. And so when I came to LEAP about 10 years ago, I was on a gap year in college, and I had transferred schools about 2 times. I had changed my majors about 3 times. I had no clue what I wanted to do once I graduated, and so I was just trying everything. And so I came to LEAP, I learned about informational interviews, and I loved learning about it, and so I decided to put it into practice, and it changed my life. Going into college, I thought I wanted to be a teacher. And so after LEAP, I spoke to elementary school teachers, middle school teachers, high school teachers, and I was like, no. I do not want to be in charge of kids all day, every day. That is not for me. And so I was like, okay, maybe I want to be a professor. Let me talk to my professor and see. And I spoke to my professor, and I learned that being a professor and teaching is only half the job. The major part of the job is actually doing research behind the scenes. And I don't like research. And so I was like, nope. That is not for me either. And so with informational interviews, I was able to figure out what I didn't want to do. I didn't want to be an elementary school teacher. I didn't want to be a middle school teacher. I didn't want to be a high school teacher. I didn't want to be a professor. So what did I want to do? Well, I ended up graduating with a sociology degree from Purdue. I got my master's in information systems, a tech degree, and then I ended up working at Visa. How many people have a Visa credit card or MasterCard? Yes, represent, love it. Visa is better than MasterCard, by the way, just saying. And so I ended up working at Visa for a few years. I was a business analyst, And being a business analyst is just looking at spreadsheets, working behind the scenes. You don't really interact with people that much, but I'm very much a people person. And so I was kind of miserable. I loved working at Visa. It's a Fortune 100 company. The company culture was amazing. So I loved being there, but I didn't love what I was doing. And so I figured it's time to figure out what I want to do and chase that. So I was at an event and I was networking with someone. Dr. Bill talked about networking earlier. That's a very important skill. I was networking with someone and I learned that the person was a therapist. They were in school studying to become a therapist. I was so fascinated and I was like, I think I want to dig deeper into this. What really is a therapist? How do you become a therapist? Do you enjoy your job? And so I set up 3 informational interviews with other therapists that I knew. And I asked them questions like, what is your job like? How do you become a therapist? What don't you like about your job? And after those conversations, I discovered I wanted to be a therapist as well. And so I quit my job at Visa and went back to school at Santa Clara University, SCU. That's the last picture. And I'm currently getting my second master's to become a therapist. Thank you. Thank you. And so at LEAP, we say successful people do what unsuccessful people won't do. And so leaving a comfortable job and going back to school is very scary. But at LEAP, we teach you to take chances. We teach you to follow your passion. We teach you to go big or go home. And so going back to school was a big risk, but it's something that I'm willing to do to better myself. And so I'm at Santa Clara University. I figured out I do want to be a therapist, and that's all thanks to informational interviews. So in undergrad, informational interviews helped me figure out what I didn't want to do. I didn't want to be a teacher. And when I was working, informational interviews helped me figure out what I do want to do, which is be a therapist. And so informational interviews are very important for figuring out what you do want to do when you graduate or what you don't want to do when you graduate. So the big question is, how do you do informational interviews? Well, there are 5 steps. The first step of informational interview, everybody, let's say it together, is research. The second step is what? Preheat. Amazing. And the third step? Perfect. The fourth step? And the final step? Close. Amazing. So these are the 5 key steps of informational interviews. Let's dive into them. The first one, research. In my opinion, this is the most important step. And it's the most important step because the more you know about the other person, the more they think you know what you're doing. And so if you spend a lot of time researching that person, you're able to have an amazing conversation with them, and they trust that you know what you're doing. First, how do you figure out who to interview? You want to do research to decide who you're going to interview. So say you are a senior in high school, you want to be a lawyer, but you're not quite sure. You can talk to your parents and say, I'm thinking about being a lawyer, but I would love to talk to a friend of yours who is a lawyer to see if this is what I want to do. And so that's what we call a warm connection. Has anyone heard of cold calling before? Cold calling? Perfect. So warm connection is the opposite of cold calling. Cold calling, you're randomly picking up the phone and calling someone. The person doesn't know you. A warm connection is when a mutual connection introduces you to someone else. So that's the best way to get people to interview for information. And so when you get their contacts, you want to send them a message, a text message, an email, and say, hello, my name is Aura. I'm a senior in high school. I'm thinking of being a lawyer, but I want to get more information about your journey to help inform my decision. Do you have 20 to 30 minutes to talk with me? And you send it. Many times, if it's a warm introduction, most people will say yes. And so you end up scheduling a time with them. You ask them, are you available at this time? If they say no, ask them what times they're available, and then send a calendar invite to them. If you don't know how to send a Google Calendar invite, Google how to send a calendar invite. That way, on the day of the interview, they have a reminder, and you also have a reminder. Once you've decided the people to do the informational interview with, you want to do the W5 analysis. The W5 analysis is who, when, why, what, where, and how. You want to gather as much information about them. Who are they? Where do they work? When did they start working there? If there's any W5 analysis you're not able to gather during the research phase, then you will collect that during the discovery phase when you're talking to them. Different sources of information to get more content on the person you're interviewing is LinkedIn. LinkedIn will probably be your #1 source. How many people have a LinkedIn account? Wow, okay, that's a pretty good number. The great news is we're going to teach you how to set up a LinkedIn account as well. And so talk to your coaches, they'll help you, but Instagram is for pictures and sharing about your life. LinkedIn is a career social media where you're able to share about your jobs and milestones and all of that. So LinkedIn will be your #1 source of information. You're also able to Google the person's name and see what comes up. So you might see a news article about them, you might see their company website come up. Just gather as much information as you can about the person. The next step is the preheat. For the preheat, people will believe what they overhear about you more than what they directly hear from you. And so the preheat is when someone who is a warm connection reaches out to the person you're interviewing and says, hey, I heard you're gonna talk to this person. This person is amazing, they worked for me, and they're very hardworking. I think you'll have a wonderful conversation with them. So they're just hyping you up. They're letting your interviewee get excited to meet you. And it's important that you do your research well so that whoever is hyping you up, you don't disappoint them because they've already hyped you up. One other way you can do a preheat is by keeping what we call a brag book. Everybody say brag book. Amazing. A brag book can be a folder where you put all your accomplishments, the awards, you put your resume, you put your letters of recommendations. You can also have a PDF copy that you email to the person you're interviewing before the interview. It's basically letting them know information about you before you meet them. The third stage is the introduction. And this is when you actually meet the person. So the first 2 stages is before you meet the person. You do your research, you do the preheat. And the third stage is the introduction. People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And so it's very important that when you meet someone for the first time, you make them feel like the most important person in the world. This is an opportunity to display some of the research you did. So for example, if during your research you found out that they just moved to a new company or they just got a promotion, this is the perfect opportunity to say, congratulations, I saw during my research that you just joined a new company, you just got a promotion. The intro stage is when you make a little bit of small talk. It's when you let them know the research you did. So at the start, you want to thank them for coming. You want to introduce yourself again, remind them of how you connected and the purpose of the meeting. So if you remember, the purpose of setting up this meeting is you want to go to law school, you're a high school senior, and you're trying to figure out if law is the right career for you. And so you're just going to remind them of your why at the beginning of the meeting. During the interview, you maintain eye contact, you listen, you paraphrase what they say. How many of us know what active listening is? Wonderful. You deploy your active listening skills and you mirror them. Mirroring is a psychology technique where you're basically copying what someone does. If they cross their legs, you also want to cross your legs. If they lean forward, you also want to lean forward. But you don't do it where it's too obvious. You're not going to mirror every single thing they do, or that would be annoying. You just mirror some important things. And the purpose of mirroring is people love people who are similar to them. And so if you're doing the same things as them, their mind unconsciously is finding similarities between both of you. And so we're going to move to the fourth stage. The fourth stage is discovery. Be interested, not interesting. This is another popular saying we have at LEAP. It means ask questions and don't share too much about yourself. During your walk and talks, this is a great example for when you can be interested, not interesting. Ask questions, be curious, get to know about the people. And then if they do ask you about yourself, by all means share, but don't make the session all about you. Be interested, not interesting. Some questions you could ask are, what do you like or dislike about your job? What types of people struggle in this field? What other questions would you all want to ask? Just raise your hand and let's hear it. What other questions could you ask during an informational interview? Yes. Were you raising your hand? Okay. Yes. I love that. What inspired you to start your career? That's good. Any more questions? In the blue shirt? What's the most troubling thing about the career? Okay. What challenges have you faced in the career? And beside you, the white shirt? Yes, that is a perfect closing question, and we have that on the slides. Is there anyone else you think I should talk to? More questions in the pink hair? What steps did you take to get to your career? Amazing. Purple? Amazing. Did you ever want to quit, and how did you persevere? Those are great questions to really dig deep and understand what a career path is like and whether or not it's for you. If you remember at the beginning, I told you I wanted to be a professor. I spoke to my professor, and he told me that a lot of the job is research, and I don't like research. I thought it was just teaching, because when you're in a class, you only see the professor teaching. You don't see the research they do behind the scenes. And so that's why informational interviews are important, because they tell you about what goes on behind the scenes. Perfect. And so we're at the final step, and it is the close. You want to have a strong opening, the introduction, and you want to have a strong ending, which is the close. The close asks, what is the next step? Do you want to keep in touch with them? Do you want them to connect you to someone else? Do you want them to be your mentor? Now, you can't ask the first person you're meeting with to be your mentor on the first meeting. That's going to be weird. You want to build a relationship over time, get to know the person, and see if you guys get along and if they will be your mentor, okay? After the informational interview, this is one of the standards we have at LEAP. You always want to send a thank you note, and we prefer if it's a handwritten thank you card. If you're not able to do that, they don't want to give you their mailing address, you can always email a thank you note. And in the note, you're just going to say thank you for your time. You're going to say, one thing I really learned from this session was I learned that you've been a lawyer for 10 years and it's a lot of reading, and speaking to you made a huge difference in my decision. You just want to affirm them and thank them for their time. I have an event planning business that I've been running for over 5 years. I do corporate events, I do private events, and every client I meet with, I give them a handwritten thank you card. And they call me the following year to do an event for them, because people might trash a business card, but they don't trash thank you cards. And so every day they see my thank you card and they remember me. And that's why it's important for you to have a thank you card that you send. All right, so now we're at the end of the 5 steps. Let's recap. What's the first step? Research. Amazing. What's the second step? Preheat. You guys are A students. I love it. What's the third step? And I don't see you looking in your notes. You guys are remembering this. This is amazing. What's the third step? Discovery is the fourth step. Amazing. And the final step, very loudly, close. Oh, wonderful. So, thank you guys. You guys are sweet. Thank you. And so we're going to do some demos and role play just to practice some of what you've learned. The final role play, I'm going to ask someone from the audience to do a role play with me and interview me. So who would want to do that? Philip? Okay, let's do Philip. Great. All right, so please welcome Charles and Menway, the first coaches to do the demo. Yes. You guys are great. You guys are great. Thank you. 1, 2, action.
I wonder what he is. Oh, hi there.
What's up? Ready? Yeah, there you go. It's called a dab up. Do you know what that is?
It's nice to meet you. It's just
No, it's your unk. It's all right.
give a
Whatever.
handshake.
Oh, yeah, no, it's all right. Sorry. Sorry I'm late.
Yeah, I've been waiting like 10 minutes. We said 3 o'clock. It's 3:10 right now.
I couldn't find a parking spot. Sorry, my Cybertruck was a little too big, so I'm sorry about that.
Okay, that's okay. How can I help you? What would you like me to do?
Let's think. Like low key, I was being a bum all summer. I didn't really do anything because I didn't go to this program called LEAP, which now you run. And so I was just kind of hoping I could get like an internship or something like that, because I know you and my dad are kind of like really tight like this. So I was just kind of wondering if you could like slide that over and I could work for you. That'd be great, honestly.
I mean, I'll be happy to help, but do you know anything about LEAP? Have you done any research?
Let's think. LEAP, it stands for that. Yeah.
Sure.
I know that. Yeah. See, I did my research, guys. Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what happens during LEAP Week? Do you know why you want to join LEAP Week, or?
Like it's a great resume builder, and I haven't done anything all summer. I've just been kind of scrolling on YouTube Shorts lately, like watching like Fruit AI videos. So, I just love to kind of break out of that and kind of build my resume. So, yeah.
Okay, I'd be happy to help. Me and your dad are very good friends.
Wait. Sorry,
told
can you
her.
shut up real quick? I'm sorry. The boys want to see Moana tonight. You want to join?
I don't think so. I'm good, thank you.
Oh.
You mentioned in your email you had a couple questions for me. Do you have anything prepared? Did you want to ask me
Oh
anything?
yeah, so here's the funny thing. So I copied that off the chat and I pasted it on the email. I didn't really look it over, so it's honestly chat's fault because it should have followed my prompt the right way. So I think maybe you could talk to ChatGPT and kind of figure that out. That's not really my problem, but yeah.
Well, my time is valuable.
Wait. Sorry.
I charge like $1,000 to
Wait.
meet with people. You're not prepared. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to waste my time. But when you're ready, you can email me. It was nice to meet you.
Wait.
Yes. Can we give a round of applause to Menme and Charles? Thank you. Thank you, guys. So, as you guys know, was that a good or a bad way of doing an informational interview? That was very bad. Can you guys tell me why it was bad? What was bad about it? Yes. Yeah. Uninterested, didn't do research. Yes. Someone else at the back? He wasn't respectful. Imagine telling the person you're interviewing to shut up. That's so disrespectful, exactly. Someone else at the back? Can we get her a mic, please? At the back? I think Maya and Christina. Or try to shout, maybe? Yeah, he barely did his research, exactly. Someone on this side, yes. Go ahead. He wasn't prepared, exactly. Someone in the middle? Yes. He was late. Why would you be late? They're doing you a favor. You should come prepared. You should be early. Have you guys heard the LEAP saying, if you're early? Yes? Yes. If you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. And if you're late, you're lost. You don't want to be lost, okay? All right, so we'll have the next role play. Aura and Sanaya, please come up. Yes. Great. Hi, Sanaya. My name is Aura. Thank you so much for meeting. Thank you for meeting with me. I really appreciate you.
Of course, how can I help you?
So as you know, I'm in law school. I'm a high school student. I'm thinking of going to law school, but I don't really know for sure what I want to do when I graduate. And so my dad said it might be a good idea to talk to you because you're a lawyer, you're his friend, and I just want to learn about your career journey.
Okay, so some of the things I like about being a lawyer are the fact that I'm able to advocate for people that sometimes can't advocate for themselves, and to be a pillar in my community and to help support everyone I can. I also like interacting with people a lot and talking to people and being a people person, and that helps a lot and it makes me very happy.
Yeah, that's so amazing to hear. I also love interacting with people, and I saw on LinkedIn that you just got a promotion. That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So I'm sure you're really just killing it at your job, and I just aspire to be like you once I graduate from college.
I appreciate that. Do you have any more questions for me?
Yes, so I do have about 2 more questions for you, if that's okay. And please feel free to let me know if you also have any questions for me.
Of course.
My second question is, what kinds of people do you think will thrive in this career?
In order to thrive in the law field, I feel like persistency and consistency is very key. You also need to be very thorough, and you need to have good communication skills, because without that, it would be very difficult to get your point across to your clients or to the court. And yeah, those are very important traits to have.
Yeah, I'm definitely very persistent. I did hear that maybe there's a lot of reading. Is it really bad or is it manageable?
There is a lot of reading and research, but I feel like at the end it is all rewarding, and you will get a lot out of it, and you will enjoy your experience as a lawyer. If you don't like reading, I also think maybe being a court reporter might be great for you, just as another career option to explore.
Okay, that's very helpful. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Welcome.
I do have one final question for you. Is there anyone else you think I could talk to? I'm just trying to talk to 3 to 5 people to get more information about law.
Of course. My dad is a pre-law professor at Harvard right now. So if you are interested in majoring in pre-law, he can talk to you and explain how that works in relation to the law field and being a lawyer in the future. I also have an aunt that's a paralegal who can talk to you. So just in case you don't want to be a lawyer in the courtroom, you can still do stuff in law behind the scenes.
That's really, really helpful. I appreciate you. I'll send you an email after this, and you can just connect us. That would be amazing. Do you have any questions for me before we go?
I would just say, as a statement, just reach out and network with whoever you can. There are a lot more people involved in like law and government and rules and stuff more than we know. So kind of just like reach out and connect with people, and that can get you very far in your career.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's give it up for Sanaya. Amazing. Thank you. All right, so was that a good or a bad example? That was a good example. What did I do well? Yes, at the back. I spoke respectfully and formally. Amazing. Someone else? Yes. Green shirt? Oh, you made eye contact. I made eye contact. Perfect. Yes, amazing. And that's what's going to set you apart. You did your research, you congratulated her for her promotion, because not everyone is going to know that. And so it's going to show that you did a lot of good research. Yes, Pink? Yes, I had my questions prepared. I also told her how many questions I had. I made sure I didn't go over time because I told her it was going to be 20 to 30 minutes. You want to be respectful of her time and not go over time. At the back? Yes, perfect. I was interested. I asked a lot of questions. I didn't share too much about myself, only in the beginning as an intro to tell her the purpose of the interview. One more? Yes, the magic close, because that's how you get more people to talk to. It makes your life easier if you just ask them, is there anyone in your network that I can talk to? Amazing. So we're going to have our final role play by Philip in the audience. Give a round of applause for Philip. Can we get a mic for Philip? Can we get a mic? Oh, he has one. Perfect. So Philip is going to do the informational interview, and I'm going to be the person he's interviewing.
Hello there.
Hi, Philip.
So why do you want to join us? Why do you want to join this LEAP program?
Wait. Tell me the context, because I'm the person you are interviewing. So let's say I'm a CEO of LEAP. I'm Dr. Bill, right? And you want to come join LEAP. And so let's pretend you're interviewing me to get more information about LEAP. How does that sound?
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Got it.
so let's do it.
Okay, so I'm interviewing you to get more information about
Yes,
like.
an informational interview, yes.
Okay. So what is it like working in the LEAP program? Like, what is something that you really like about it?
Yes, that's a really great question, Philip. Thank you. I just love being able to impact lives. Every year we have 400 students who come from around the world, and it's honestly my favorite part of the year, just meeting all of the students.
That's very interesting. Like, what students have you met? Are there any in particular that you really thought were benefited from the program? Like the program really helped them out?
Yeah, we've had so many success stories. We've had a lot of students who came as students, they came back as coaches, they came back to be speakers, and a lot of them have started their own businesses. One very notable student that I remember is called Philip.
Oh, I wonder who that guy is.
I wonder.
Another question that I have is, what are some of the people that we're going to be seeing? Is there anyone like important that you think is helpful, and if I join the LEAP program?
Yes. So every year we publish a list of speakers. I can send you the link to our speaker list. I encourage you to look up each speaker, do research on them, so that when you meet them at LEAP, you're ready to have conversations with them. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good, good. Can we have a round of applause for Philip? Yes! Philip was very bold. He learned about informational interviews today, and he did a demo. So that was amazing. I appreciate your courage in doing that. All right, so we're wrapping up. We're going to do audience takeaways. What have you learned from informational interview session? Can we have the mic go around? What did you learn? Yes?
I learned to always be prepared going into an interview, whether that's with your questions being in order or whether it's like having your questions in order or doing your research on the person you're going to interview.
Yes, amazing. Always be prepared. Who has the next mic over there?
I learned that the content of the questions you ask can give you insightful information into what you're interviewing about.
Yes, the content really matters. At the back? Can I hear that louder? Amazing, yes. Do research on people if you want to have them mentor you or if you want to learn more. Let's go to that side. Hayden.
Be prepared for what you're talking about and asking.
Be prepared, be prepared, be prepared. So important. Over at that side.
Hello?
Hi.
Well, honestly, I just never thought to ask, like, who you're interviewing, like, what other people you could talk to.
Yes.
I thought that was very intelligent, and I will definitely use that in the future.
Thank you. That's amazing. Yes. Just ask. Yes. Yes. In the pink hair?
I learned that it was a good way to just put your name on a map for somebody. And
Yes.
also how to just get another connection from the connection.
Yes, exactly. It's a way to expand your network. Yes. Any other from the front? I want to hear something from the front over here. Someone? Someone in front? Okay, let's do it in front over there.
I mean, I know already that like it's important to be really like respectful, but like just even going beyond that and like just being really engaged the whole time just means a lot to people.
Yes, being engaged. It's important that whoever you're interviewing feels like the most important person. I had a hand in front here as well. Janice, could you help me with that? Thank you. Yes, go ahead.
So I learned that these informational interviews are a really powerful tool to really get yourself out there, and if it's something you can leverage, it's something that will really boost your success going into the future. So I'm gonna keep this in mind for any time I wanna find a position or see if, maybe the career path I'm going down is the correct one or it's not for me,
Yes, that is incredible. Doing the informational, amazing. Doing the informational interviews helps you take a giant leap forward instead of baby steps forward. Because remember when I said I wanted to be a professor? So imagine if I did my PhD and I started working as a professor, and then I realized I hate it. I don't like research. And so I save so much time by talking to someone who's already a professor and understanding what the job entails, so I don't have to go through school for like 10 years and then realize I don't like the job. All right, we'll do two more takeaways, yes.
Foster a relationship with the person before asking them to be your mentor.
Yes, that is so important. Exactly. Before you start asking people for things, it's important you build a relationship foundation. Imagine if you just met someone in the grocery store and they're like, "Can you be my mentor?" Like, you don't know them. You don't know if they're safe. And so you need to gradually build a relationship with them first. All right, in the back.
And then following their footstep, mimicking their moves.
Yes, yes. So in psychology, we call that mirroring. You want to mirror their gesticulation. You want to mirror their tone of voice. If they're talking softly, do not shout. If they're a little bit louder, you can match that a little bit. If they cross their legs, you can do the same thing. Amazing. Can we give a round of applause to everyone who asked takeaways? All right. And now, does anyone have any questions for me? Any questions for me? It can be about my story. It can be about informational interviews. Any questions? Okay, that's a great informational interview question. Well done. So like I said, I'm a people person. I love hearing people's stories. I love helping people solve challenges. When I worked in tech, I realized that my favorite part of the day was lunchtime, when I get to talk to people and just learn about their stories. And then also in my family, I was always the unofficial therapist for everyone. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make it official so I can get paid for all this free labor. And so that's why I decided to go to school and be a therapist. Thank you. Great question. Any other questions about informational interviews, about my story? Yes. Sorry, we'll come back to you. Can I hear you?
What were some of the challenges that you faced?
Some of the challenges I faced as a therapist? Okay, what were some of the goals I set becoming a therapist, and how did I overcome that? So when I decided to go back to school as a therapist, my school was about 2 hours with traffic. No, maybe like 2 to 3 hours with traffic. And our classes were at night, so 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. And so I was exhausted just going back and forth. And so I ended up networking at an event. I met up with a woman. It turns out the woman was the vice provost of the school. She told me about a job opportunity. This is why networking is so important, because you hear about things that hasn't even been publicized yet. She told me about a job opportunity where you get to live on campus with the students, first and second year college students. It's free housing. You get to practice as a therapist. And so it was the best of both worlds. And so that was a challenge I had, the commute. And I was able to solve that challenge just by networking and letting people know what I need. Everybody say, just ask.
Just ask.
Just ask. You have a challenge, just ask. All right, let's come back to you. What are some things I've had to deal with as a therapist that I would not have expected? So that's a really good question. I would say, because I did my research and I did a lot of informational interviews before becoming a therapist, I kind of knew about what the challenges would be. I knew what I was signing up for. For example, becoming a therapist, you have to go to get your master's for 3 years. A lot of masters are like 1 year or 2 years, but 3 years is a long time, and a lot of people hate that. But I knew what I was signing up for, and that's why informational interviews are so important. All right, we're gonna do one last question at the back.
what tips or essentially what would you tell a young therapist right now who's in grad school and trying to find maybe a internship or just a potential opportunity to start getting on the brown boots like experience?
Yes, amazing. So my tip would be do informational interviews before you start school to talk to people who have already done it to get a sense of what it's like. Do your research when you're picking the school you go to, and network. Network so that you're able to get internships when you're graduating. All right, so thank you all for your questions. I really appreciated all the questions. You're kind of practicing informational interviews.
Oh, popped up on the thing. I straight up I walked.
Thank you.
Didn't say anything.
Everyone give another round of applause to Aura, please.